Welcome to Financial Empowerment, only on Mother and Child Television. Today, we want to look at financial freedom, how it affects our families. We want to look at family and finances, managing family finances. And to help me digest the topic today, I'm joined by Pascalia Chacha. Pascalia Chacha is an author. She is a gospel minister, she is a teacher, and she gives financial advice. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We are honored to host you today.
Thank you, sir.
What is financial freedom?
Well, I can just put it short. Financial freedom is when you are able to meet your ends, pay your bills, and you don't have debts behind you, bogging you down, taking away your joy, taking away the freedom of you and your family, and just driving you crazy, because it is not fun having debtors at your doorsteps. So financial freedom, and the main thing that I'm going to talk today is about how you can manage that little which you have and live in a contented life, so that you can avoid all those other pitfalls that so many of us make as we go through life every day.
Well, before we start looking at managing the family finances, I would ask, at these harsh economic times, do we still talk of financial freedom?
Yes, we eat every day, we bathe every day, we clothe ourselves every day, we spend money to do all these things. Our children go to school, and all this need cash. You cannot do all these things without cash. So that which you have is what I'm interested in, and how you can manage it and live a contented life with what you have.
I mean, do people achieve this freedom?
Some do, some don't. And I'm here to bridge that gap, because I will talk about even the elite poverty, where everybody thinks you are doing okay, and some people even envy you, but yet you are walking miserably. Deep down, you know the things that are bogging you down. And there is that other person who is walking around free in their spirit. They might not look all that, but they are okay. So I will give the two scenarios of the people that are in the marketplace, and with these two scenarios, everybody will be able to group themselves, because we are not going to give you an example, this is an elite poor and this is a poor. But even as I talk, you will know which group you belong to and how you can rectify yourself and walk the right way in this whole financial world.
Here you are.
Yes.
Tell me about financial freedom.
I am going to talk about this book, Financial Freedom, which I wrote. And in this book, I will mainly talk on the freedom on the part of you as the person who is holding those finances, how you can save, because we waste quite a lot in expenses we go through every day. I'll take a scenario of people, like 5 people. All of us are going to Nairobi. All of us are living on Thika Road. All of us are driving, and we are living neighbors. Instead of all of us taking our vehicles and making the jam on the road, why can't we share? The 5 people, all of us getting in one van, and we contribute fuel, so that every person, instead of paying that 100 in a matatu, all of us can just chip in, we fuel the car, we go to town, we park, and in the evening we agree on the time we come back. So first of all, you'll have saved the money, you as a person, for the parking fee. You'll have saved the money for the fuel. You'll have saved. And that money which you save, you can keep it aside, even in an M-Shwari locked account, and see to it at the end of the month that 100, 200, 300 that you save, at the end of the month, how much it will be.
Maybe if I can take you back a bit.
Yes.
Financial freedom. Do people, are there possibilities of achieving financial freedom?
Yes.
And if yes, what are these factors that can make somebody achieve this financial freedom?
That one of them I'm talking about is containing our expenses. Another one is avoiding our wastages. You find people eating, they go to the table, they serve even more food than what they can consume. At the end of the day, they pour that food on the dustbin. This is food which can be taken even in the evening or tomorrow as a leftover, you see. So that financial freedom can be achieved because as you save little by little, at the end of the day, it is much. It's not the same as this person who pours. Tomorrow they pour, the other day they pour. At the end of the month, they have wasted quite a lot. So financial freedom, it is achievable.
What happens when, I would say, a country like Kenya, recently I was interviewing somebody who was telling me on a lighter note that Kenyans, we are always ready to spend and we don't have the saving culture. Would you agree with this person, or how do you look at it?
I will not agree with that because not all Kenyans. I appreciate Kenya for one thing that is major in this nation, and that is chamas. You find people who have joined into investment groups, merry-go-rounds, and all that is aimed at savings. There are people who are even saving for food. I went to Dandora to visit another group of women, and these women are meeting every Thursday. They contribute 20 shillings, 20 shillings, 20 shillings each. And every Sunday, they just go. There are many. They go, they buy food in bulk. And those bulks, they save because of buying in bulk. They come and share it out. So I will not agree that all Kenyans have a saving problem. No. There are people who have realized saving is important and they are saving. But the problem that we have in Kenya, which is major, is the elite poor people. What I mean about the elite poor is that I've gone to school, I have all my degrees, I get out of school, I get into employment, I want to drive the car that reflects my studies, I want to live in a place that reflects my peers. So this issue of peer pressure is not only to the youth, even the people who are in professions. So you want to live like everybody else. And at the end of the day, you can never be somebody else. You can only be you. So you find that we have a problem which is major. And that is the elite poor, because if I live in a house that I pay too much, I drive a car that I pay too much, I spend in supermarkets that I pay too much, I go even to hospitals where I spend much, at the end of the month, I have nothing to save.
So how do you empower people to embrace the saving culture?
What I will say is, I appreciate even this new curriculum that is coming up. If people can get it from the grassroots, from when you are a child, that little person knows I need to save, I don't need to waste, I need to take care of this and that. At the end of the period, that child will be much better than most of this age group that I am in. Why? Because the main problem that we are facing right now in Kenya, of this elite poverty that is engulfing many people, entering into debt addiction and debt cycles, is because most of the people come from families, they don't know the hurdles their parents went through to live in Runda. Immediately they get out of school, they want to live the way they grew up. You get? And the probability of this person getting into debt is high. I will give a scenario, and I am not ashamed to share these two scenarios. Flashy things. You want to look like you are doing well, so you'll drive a nice car, you will live in a nice house, maybe somewhere, you will start dressing differently and all that. The other person might not look all that, but they are saving little by little. At the end of, let's say, 6 months, if both of you are to take loans from the same employer, one will get, the person who is consumption conscious, by the way, that consciousness continues. Immediately, you get more money, you want to look more better. But the reality is you are getting deeper into the pit. So the other one will think of, let's say, one will think even of buying a house, which is personal house, personal car. You get it? Personal. The person who is investment conscious will think of, let me just get some cheap houses for people who are just starting off. And I see this happening a lot. I started a business somewhere in a place called Twala, and most people there, they build small houses where they rent out students, because hostels are not enough for the many universities that in that locality. We have Catholic, we have Multimedia, we have Nazarene, we have the JKUAT, and Tangaza is there. So all these students cannot be held in the university's hostels. So many people there will just build small houses, 1 room, 2 rooms, you see, 1 bedroom for those who want to live with their families. And at the end of 3 years, I'll tell you, that person who went for a personal house and this other one who went for those 2 small rentals, by look of things, if you look at their faces, you might think the one who is coming from a personal house in a personal car is doing well. But I'll tell you, from the financial perspective, the person who is actually earning rent, small, from those 2 rooms is doing better. And unfortunately enough, the consumption mentality, we get it from our own home, the upbringing, where you come from. So you grow up, and the moment you get this job out or you get this money, all you think of is you want to look like the way your dad looked like, or your mom looked like, or the way you are brought up, and you say, I want my children to look better, to live better, and all that. But if you take, for example, a loan, both of you, one is paying from the rent they are earning, and the other one is paying from their pocket, you tell me, in 5 years, who will be doing better? Obviously, it is the person who is getting the extra income. Yes. We can also go to the scenario of the personal car. I'm not advocating for people to live miserably. I hope you understand.
Yes.
It is good to live well, but when you can afford it. I have made that mistake myself, and I would not want any other Kenyan to become an elite poor. A person who is being followed by auctioneers after paying for a mortgage of more than 5 years. When banks want their houses, they don't care you paid for 5 years. They will sell that house at the price they want, because that is the amount they want to recover. The rest you have already given them. You get my point?
At family level,
yes.
How do we manage this family finances?
At family level, it has to be a combined thing. Because if you as a man is somebody who is an investment conscious person, and the wife is a consumption conscious person, then you need prayers. because will be very hard. It will be very hard as you are trying to save and invest and do what. There will be another person, it's like a whole. So it has to be a teamwork in the family setup.
In the life today,
Yes.
can couples bring their earnings together so that they plan for it together? Can it really work?
Many. Unfortunately, not so many.
Yes.
But in that setup where they bring together and agree, they go far. What the saying goes, together you can go far.
Yes.
Alone, you can go very fast. You can buy that house by loan. You can get that car by loan. At the end of the day, auctioneers will be there and they will just affect the whole family, including the children.
Few families before, not long ago, but even today, I believe, there are families that manage family resources together. So that if I'm to make a decision, I want to get some money, I want to take some family money, I believe they make a big account for their family. So anything I want to do, I consult my colleague. Other people look at this as sometimes it's a bit challenging because all of us are not equal, all of us are not behaving the same. There's some who would take the advantage of the other. But how do you look at this when family resources or when family money is managed at a collective level?
You know, when family resources are managed at a collective level, then you have to really be a Bible person. When the Bible tells you a man will leave his father and mother, and a woman will leave, and they will be one thing. The problem that we have in that, the whole issue of family finances is, I come with my clan behind me, he comes with his clan behind him, and here we have only two people who are earning. And most of these, trailers behind us are these people who are looking for outpatient or inpatient cares in our homes. You get, eh? So if we are to just be a family unit, would have saved. But when you have these other people, I call them inpatient and outpatient cares. If you have so many people to take care in your house, and out there are so many others who are in the boarding, or so if these family finances are now diverted to all that, and just get me right, I am not mean. I'm not mean. But when family finances are concerned, then there has to be an agreement. Okay, we will support, yes, but how many people are we supporting? And when you see it is only your side of the family which is being supported, you as a man, and the family of your woman is not being supported, then no, there is a problem, because this woman will be grieving silently. And if you are not discussing for it to be done as a together thing, she will be doing it below the sea level.
Who should be the voice?
In that home, both of you should be the whole voice, because they are saying the two shall become one. And there is that role of a man as a head and a woman to submit to the head of the home. But being the head does not mean you will be doing all the decision making, because there are those heads which are danda. You don't have ideas, you don't have decisions, you don't have solutions. If you discover your wife is better, just accept it. Lakini, it will now be done, There are those things you'll agree even in the bedroom, and then you come and say it. Now I've said,
Won't you grow horns after we agreed when we were in the bedroom? We said, okay, I make this money, please manage it for me. Then when I leave you now to manage it, you go around bragging.
Oh, the woman.
The woman.
No. No, it depends on how stupid that woman is. Someone has given you money to manage and you go around advocating, you'll get hawk friends. Those who are ready to just grab your money and run away. All of it, what I'm saying is, you have to be friends And that is one thing I believe. Before you get into marriage, young people, just be friends, because a friend cannot hurt another friend. You get? You can't go around hurting your friend. So you have to be agreeable. Even those decision makings. Yes, you might have advised your husband something, but you don't have to go out showing everybody else, I am the one who did A, I'm the one who said B, I'm the one who advised C. Just shut up and let the family continue.
Can wives be entrusted with the family money to manage?
Yes, they can.
You come from a church background?
Yes.
You are married by a church minister?
Yes.
And the church you go to, I'm sure you have a number of sharings with women.
Yes.
Tell me, do you extend financial advisory to women, or
yes,
what are the cases you hear from them? You get from them? Do some of them? I know that a pastor's home is always open to everybody. They say this is our pastor, so he's the father to all of you or everybody in that community. Now, sometimes pastors are forced to use their own resources, even to take some people to hospital, sometimes even to pay a fee for for the children of some of the members of the church, because they are the head of the church, they are the father of everybody that goes to that church. At that point, when you find your husband is using a lot of money to help people, do you just take it lightly, or you say, okay?
What we have done as Prayer Sanctuary of All Nations, my husband is an apostle in Prayer Sanctuary of All Nations. It's a ministry that is based at Kiserian. And what we did in the church is that apart from advising people on issues to do with finances, we created a welfare department so that the apostle is away from these all other hurdles. And the welfare department, there are so many departments in that church, and one of them is the one of welfare. There is massive department that deals now with if someone is in hospital, if someone is going through this or that, someone has lost somebody, a home that maybe a children's home has to be visited, the mercy ministry department will be responsible. But for issues now, another family, maybe they have some financial issues, someone is in hospital, the church has this department they call welfare department. And in this welfare department, we encourage people to save into the welfare account, because it is a welfare for every member of that church. So every month, every week, somebody brings 50 bob. Every month you have 200 in the welfare account. So at the end of the month, every end month, at least there is that 200 resting. 200 resting. And what we are saying, anybody who is not a member of the welfare fund in that church, you are welcome to come to church and worship with us and do everything. But when issues have surrounded you, how do you withdraw from an account that you have not saved? You see? So that is a culture which we have started even in the church, to encourage people to save so that they don't expect on these handouts. Manna from heaven came in those times of the Israelites. I have never seen manna dropping ever again from there. Just dropping. No, it is not there. So people have to put something standing so that all these members of the welfare, when they are told so and so has lost their father, or so and so has an issue in hospital, we all come as welfare members, yes, and see what to do, not as an apostle to now chip on that. Before we came up with this department of welfare, we used to face all that. People expecting handouts.
Our time is running up.
Yes, sir.
But briefly tell me about these your books. We have She Shall Be Called, Winning the War Against Satan, and the Financial Freedom.
Yes. Financial freedom, I have talked more of the saving culture and also being responsible, not wasting. Don't waste that food in the house. Don't waste that fuel if you can just carpool together. Don't do all these things that make you waste your cash and save it. In the book of Winning War, it is more of a deliverance book. It has prayer points in it. And in this book, you can go through it, read, give your life to Jesus, and let Jesus fight for your case, fight for your issues. You don't have to hop from one church to the other and look for help away from you, because the kingdom of God is within you. And on this book, She Shall Be Called Woman, I've talked of Proverb 31. That woman who is responsible and has everything all together. So in this book, I recommend it for every woman, because in this we see a woman who is financially able and ready to work. Most women, we sit and those who are not married are looking for rich men. And those who are already in marriage, we are wondering why our husband not supporting. But when you go to that proverb and read about this woman, she was not just seated waiting, she was doing something. And she was a blessing to her family. My contact, you can reach me through Prayer Sanctuary of All Nation at Kiserian. My phone number is 0723 079 054. You contact me if you need trainings. You need a talk. If you have a group of women that needs even business ideas, I teach on that. And the youth forums, I also go advise people not to do the mistakes I've done throughout their life, so that they live happily. And bookshops that stock my books. There is Chania Bookshop, Moi Avenue in town, Nairobi. There is a Thika Bookshop in Thika town. I have Glory Bookshop in Rongai. And they are in different churches in Kisumu, in Nakuru. In Twala town, we also have an office. So if you need even these books or you need to talk to me, you can contact me. You can also get in touch with whatever questions you have in this program through MCTV, who are my sponsors in this program. And let us just live happily.
Well, that is financial empowerment. You've heard it from Pascalia, the author, the minister of the gospel. Many titles would describe her. She gives financial advisory. This is financial empowerment at Mother and Child Television. We come to the end of the show for now. But next time, we'll continue with a series of financial empowerment. Till next time, cheers.